welcome back to Andin Farm. This week we're going to be a little bit different. I'm just getting out in the sunshine and making the most of a few minutes peace and quiet and just enjoying some time in the woods. We're very lucky here that we do still have some English elm. They're pioneer trees, so I don't know how long they'll actually live for, but while they're with us, they are stunning trees. You just get this lovely splash. If you see the way that the light is catching just through the tips of the flowers, and then you can see just in the centre there, the seed, which will then float as it matures. That will then drop off as the leaves come through. So you've got your tiny little flower that's just finished, and then it forms these lovely seed pods which give it its real glow and fantastic lime colour. So the seed pods all together like that make it look like blossom on the tree. Inside each one of these is a tiny new seed that, if it germinates, will then become a new tree. This is another area that we've planted. This is outside our protective fence. So this area does occasionally get grazed quite heavily by the deer, but it's still nice that we've been able to create this extra pocket at the top here. It's widening the woodland, which is helping to give us another bit of shelter break, as well as creating more biodiversity. What's really nice, which you won't be able to see, can you see that? This is Gypsophila just coming through at the base, which will have a lovely little white flower. So just down at the base here, this is Gypsophila just coming through, which is absolutely stunning. We've then got some lovely seedlings of, although they have been nibbled back a little bit by the deer, but we've got some lovely seedling growth coming on the holly. Mountain ash. And then the view coming through with the bluebells as they're starting to come through. So the bluebells just coming through, the ferns just coming through, and you can just about make out here we've got cherry, meadowsweet, ferns, and again dog's tooth violet. And just, you can probably make out there's 3 or 4 honeybees just visiting the bluebells in front of me now in the camera there. And again with the wild cherry, and then again if we look up there, we've got the lovely seed pods on the elm, and obviously the view through to the river behind. What is really encouraging is you can see obviously where we've got the guards around the new planting, the new trees that we've put into this area, but either side we've actually got self-sown horse chestnut which are actually just coming through. So we'll just have to monitor and see, but there's 2 horse chestnut seedlings that have come through, and there's another hazel just coming through at the back. And this winter we've just planted up a new section of hedge just in the boundary behind me here as well. Basically just to extend the existing hedge. So, but what is really encouraging is all the additional wildflowers that are starting to come through. We have had a lot of damage with trees going over in the storms over the last few weeks. So just to show you, early purple orchid, right up at the edge, ransoms all around it. But if you look at the stunning spotting on the leaf there, this is an absolute stunner and really, really good for early bees and butterflies to come and visit. It's a really, really nice native orchid, and we're very, very lucky that we keep finding these now. There's different areas, and some of these trees unfortunately blow over, some of the old trees in the storms. It's opening up areas of soil, and it's allowing some of these species to grow where they may not have grown when they didn't have enough light to start with. Wood anemone, it's another one. Last year they didn't flower very well. This year, because we've had a lot more moisture, they've actually done a lot better. Tiny delicate ferny foliage and a little delicate white flower. Really lovely harbinger of spring. Down by my feet, we've also got masses and masses of ransoms or wild garlic. These buds are going to be opening in the next few weeks into lovely white starry flowers, which again the bees are going to love. In this little patch here, we've got another lovely early orchid and bluebells, which smell absolutely divine. They've got a really lovely delicate honey scent to them, and a little celandine, which again is loved by the bees. Just in this small pocket here, we're very, very lucky that we've got quite a lot of diversification and lots of different flowers and species growing in a very small area. This is hawthorn, or mayflower, covered in flower bud. Okay, looks very similar, but this is hazel just coming into leaf. So we've just been looking at elm. Elm, hazel and hornbeam all have very similar leaves when they're fully out, but at this time of year, the hazel had catkins on it, yellow in January, February when we were looking at them. Now these are coming into full leaf, whereas the elm we were looking at before have just flowered, and we were looking at the seed pods. So that's hazel and that's elm. But as the leaves develop, they do look very, very similar when they're out. So as we're looking down this little section of banking here, you can now really start to see, normally this would be May, but the bluebells are really starting to romp away now. But again, as you look out, you can see all the new foliage now on the willow. You've got ash and oak, both seem to be coming into leaf at the same time just at the moment, which is going to make for an interesting year. But you can really smell them. That's the most fantastic thing. On a sunny day with the breeze coming towards me, all I can smell is just a very, very sweet honey scent of the English bluebell. One of the ways to tell English bluebells from Spanish bluebells, which are a lot more invasive, is the English bluebell. Well, if you follow my finger line, always the flowers will be on one side of the flower spike as it comes up and just hangs over, almost like a shepherd's crook, the way it comes up. So as the flowers open, the little tubular bells hang over it to one side. With the Spanish bluebell, which is a lot more vigorous, it forms a whirl all the way round and they're a lot stronger. The natural English bluebell is a lot more compact to plant, and the flowers are a lot more delicate, and again just to one side. But it's one of the key ways of telling the two apart if you've got them in your garden. Bear with us, there'll be more sort of hints and tips coming up in the next few weeks. If you like what we're starting to show you, then just hit the like button and let us know. Thanks for watching. Wild cherry, bird song, trees coming into leaf, heaven.